All right, it's Trial Tuesday with attorney David Ayler. Today's topic is pedestrian accidents and what to do if you're in one or you witness one. Good topic. Good to have you.
Well, we have a lot of walking around, particularly with these Pokemon games and everything else,
It's
right?
true. We talked about it before with people blindly following their phone.
Yeah.
You said it's a huge risk for something to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, blindly following their phone, where they're doing it for directions. You know, we see a lot of tourists around downtown doing it, or just, you know, text messaging, what it might be. And, you know, you really have to pay attention, of course, to the traffic signals. And obviously, in a tourist town like here in Charleston, you have a lot of people that are driving down the wrong roadway, or they're quickly taking turns because they, you know, obviously almost miss a turn. So you want to be real careful where you're going. And if you get involved in a pedestrian accident, a lot of times people unfortunately say, oh, it's okay, I just got bumped, and then they let the car go. And that's really not what you should do, because you may not realize how injured you are. We've had several cases come into my office where people say, hey, you know, I was involved in an incident, you know, I got the person's information, felt like maybe I just bruised myself, bruised my knee, and then I let them go, but I didn't file a police report because they didn't look at it the same as a car accident. But in reality, that's not what you should do. You should stop just like it was if it was a car accident, have the police come out there, go ahead and do an accident report.
Now, why are you doing that? Just on the off chance that further down the line something happens physically?
Yeah, because essentially just if you don't have that police report, and let's say that there's actually something, you know, that's hurt internally and you don't know, let's say there's some sort of torn tendon or something that may have occurred and you're not aware of it. If you don't have that report, just because you have that person's information, you know, you try to go back and file a claim against their insurance company. If they deny it, there's no way to prove exactly what happened in that accident, so it'd be very difficult to come against their insurance and make those injury claims against them.
You know, I was hit in a parking lot recently.
Really?
I really was. I was walking, and this guy backing out, like I had a huge bruise. So I guess I should have been fine.
Yeah, well, hopefully,
and next time I know, I will text you.
Yeah, and that also happens exactly. You bring up a good point, and that's a good example.
It was an elderly driver, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't see, you know, but like he just kept going, a huge bruise down my leg.
Yeah, and documentation of that is also just as important. You know, in that situation or any other one, you know, luckily you weren't in the situation where you had to leave in an ambulance, but you know, you want to get your phone out, or if you're with a friend or a family member, whatnot, take pictures of what happened, where the cars are, that sort of thing. Because, you know, if in that type of situation you ended up having, you know, something that came down, you had a torn ligament or a ligament or torn tendon and something like that, you end up having some, you know, surgery, that can get very expensive. And where in that situation, clearly it was the fault of the driver. But if it had to come back on you and your insurance company, you're talking about spending thousands of dollars on something that would have been as simple as documenting it, having that report, and being able to file that claim against them.
Don't do it. Don't be dumb like I was. On the flip side, if we're the driver, I mean, you know, like you said in Charleston, people are always jaywalking, crossing the streets. Just assume they always have the right of way, right? Just
you want to be careful. You want to always assume that, you know, no one wants to get involved in an accident, of course. No one wants to injure anybody. But in those situations, you know, obviously you always want to look out, because you're going to have a lot of people that are jaywalking. You're going to have a lot of tourists out there that aren't paying attention to where they're going, whether it be because they're not familiar with the streets or because they're looking at their phone or whatever. So you want to be real careful with that. But from a defense standpoint, if you are in a wreck, you know, with a pedestrian and that, you know, an accident has occurred, try to get as many witnesses as you can. In that, you know, once it's occurred, obviously you want to make sure the person that's been injured, but if there's people that are walking around, say, hey, you know, there's going to be people on the side of the road, try to get their names, their numbers. They may not be able to stay if they're, you know, with their friends and families, but at least get their information, because if it comes back and there's going to be an accident report filed, provide that to the police department so they can say, yes, you know, these 5 people stopped on the side of the road because it said don't walk, but the person that did walk that you got in an accident with, you know, obviously was jaywalking. That can help you so it doesn't end up coming across to your insurance bill.
All right, great information as always. Trial Tuesday with attorney.
You need to follow it next time, okay?
Next time I need to listen to you. All right, we've got much more Low Country Live right after the break. Stick with us.